Well, it's hard to know where to make a start, isn't it?
I've never seen this in a proper light before. It looks as if it had one of them mechanical muck spreaders in here. You could grow a good crop of cabbages.
When did you say they're moving in?
Tomorrow.
Oh, well, I suppose you might as well make a start here as anywhere. What would you like me to do?
Well, you can start wiping the walls down. I'll get cracking on this floor.
Oh, we've forgotten one thing, you know.
What's that, love?
Water.
Oh, well, there's geezer in the back that's supposed to work.
Oh, well, I'll try it. Got some matches. Oh, morning, Dennis.
Oh.
Oh, you're here, are you? Oh, I see you've got your working clothes on.
Do you mind?
Well, you know we want a bit of help round here.
Why don't you ask out Linda and Ivan, then?
Well, you know very well that they have enough to do at their end.
What about Arthur Dewhurst, then? He'll be round in a minute.
You what?
Yeah, I thought that'd shake you. He came round a few minutes back. He'd just gone out for some fags.
Well, he can't see me like this.
No, it'll be a bit of a shock for him, won't
Well,
it?
don't stand there, you stoppy head, but do something.
I've already done something. I told him you ran away with your black man.
Oh, thank... You what?
I told him you'd gone away for the weekend with your lady.
Oh, you are a devil.
Yeah, I've done my good deed for the day, so I'll be off.
Oh. No gas and I can't make the water come.
Oh, I'll have to go down home and get it. Look, if you had any feeling for your mother...
Yeah, well, how you enjoy yourself, ta-ra.
As if there isn't enough suffering in the world. Oh, well, I suppose I better go home and get them buckets.
Oh, well, I'll come with you.
No, it's all right, I can manage, Esther. And I'll see all lasses at the same time.
Mrs. Tanner. Thank you very much.
You nearly got a piece of my mind then. I thought you were the fellas to read the gas meter.
Oh,
I suppose you'll have that lot round tomorrow. Aye, and the British Water Board, or whatever they call themselves. Now, come on, what can we do for you? You'll have to take us as we find us, you know.
Oh, that's all right, love. I've just brought this form for you to sign.
Oh, what is it?
Oh, well, that you won't know about it, but I've been getting up a bit of a petition for Ena Sharples. You see, we think things have gone a bit too far, so we're asking the mission committee to put her back in mission hall.
Now, you're not serious.
Oh, I am, you know. I mean, after all, it were our letter to town all about the demolition rumour that started it all off. And I, for one, didn't want it to go this far.
After all the trouble that Ena Sharples has caused in Coronation Street, you want to put her back again. I think you're being a bit of a softie, if you ask me.
But what about you, Esther?
Oh, I think I'll sign it. I think she's learned a lesson by now.
Oh, you're a right pair of softies, you are.
Well, after all, she's only an old woman.
Ena Sharples, an old woman, she's a blicky... I'd better go and see who that is.
There you are, love. I'm sorry we haven't got a dotted line.
Oh, that's all right. I can sign here.
Right.
Just a few closes, just to set them up.
Wait, will you look at this?
Oh, isn't that kind?
Oh, I don't know. I like the customers to be more than customers, if you know what I mean. Hey, they will be customers, won't they?
Of course.
You've got a job on here, haven't you? Yeah. When are they moving in?
Tomorrow, Elsie willing.
Well, you've got Mr. Tatlock helping
Oh,
you.
Mr. Tatlock's just come about a bit of a petition. We might as well get Mrs. Lindy to sign it while she's here.
Thank you,
brought
Fred.
that.
There we are.
Now then, what about it, Mrs. Tanner?
Over my dead body. Do you know what you've just signed?
Well, I never really looked.
Yeah, I can't stop long because I've got the stove on.
Oh,
I thought you
might
might
like
like a cup of tea.
We haven't really started yet. Well, we could do with that if you know what I mean.
I'll sign the petition before you go.
Chris, love, read it before you sign.
Oh, I haven't got time.
Well, there you
Thank
are.
you, love.
I'll pop back
Thank
for cup.
you.
No, it's all right. I'll bring them over afterwards.
All
right. Well, if you want the crafty one.
Isn't she, though? Still, I think I should have signed just the same.
Well, what does she sign?
Well, if Mr. Tatlock's doing it, it must be all right.
Well, if you really want to know what you just signed...
Sir! Now, you can't say I didn't do out.
Oh, there now, Elsie. All that you just can't refuse to sign. Come on.
If anybody had told me I'd finished up signing this, I'd never have believed them.
If it was a mint humbug you wanted, you only got to ask. No need to pop one in your mouth while my back's turned.
My throat's dry.
I know, mine'd be dry and all if I had as much to say for myself as you have. Here, put them in this box.
Can I have one, Ena?
Oh, give one, give all here, and don't take all day about it. I want this box back for removing tomorrow.
Who's moving you, Ena?
George Abbott on his handcart.
An handcart? You mean you're not having a proper van?
A proper van for these few bits and pieces and just to prove in that distance.
But everybody'll see what's coming.
Why shouldn't everybody see what's coming?
Well, it's not very nice, is
I
it?
don't think I quite understand what you're driving at. Are you making insinuations against my belongings?
Oh, Ena, as if I would, but... Well, you don't want everyone to see you moving, do you?
That's just where you're wrong, because that's exactly what I do want. I've been here all this time, and I'm going to show that lot up, and if I could get the Salvation Army band to accompany me and my handcart to your house, nothing would satisfy me more. I'm out to show that lot up. So if you don't like it, you can go elsewhere until it's all over, because if you think I'm going to tiptoe around to that place without us, nothing had happened, you've got another thing coming.
Oh, Ena, you do get some funny ideas.
No, well, that was a funny idea in the first place, but took me out. That old devil out there, he'll be quaking in his shoes expecting something like this to happen, and I'm not going to disappoint him. He'll be sorry he ever started this before I set foot outside that door. And have you anything else to say?
No. I've said me piece.
Right, then we'll get cracking again. And take your fingers out of that drawer, Minnie.
I was just looking to see if it was empty, Ina.
Well, if you put your hand a little bit further in, you'll find out whether it's empty or not. I've got a mousetrap set in there against prying fingers.
All right, Christopher, I won't keep you long. I know you want to get your dinner.
Oh, that's all right, Elsie. I'll take that. I've nobody to please but myself.
No, I suppose not.
How's it going?
Oh, all right. We've filled one dustbin already. We haven't even started upstairs. How people can leave a place in a state like that, I don't know. Still, we're glad to know that it'll be nice and clean and tidy when they move in.
I'll come round after if you like.
Oh, no, you have your own things to do.
No, I'm straight up for a change. I didn't go out all weekend, so there was nothing much else to do.
Oh, I see. Well, I'll be glad if you could see your way. There's plenty to do over there, and we'd be hard put to it to find it. That's your front door.
Would you answer it for me?
Yeah, if you want.
And if it's Joe Meckerson, would you tell him I'm not in?
Sure.
Oh, yeah, yes, I will. Thanks.
Well, who was it? It's all right. You can relax. It wasn't Joe Meckerson. It was Esther. She put one of your spoons in her pocket.
Oh, thanks.
By the way, what's Joe done? Not that I'm inquisitive. I'm just curious, you know.
He hasn't done anything.
Oh, I see. Well, what hasn't he done then?
Oh, you don't want to bother yourself with my troubles.
That's just where you're wrong. It's other people's problems I'm interested in. It's me own I can't stand. Thought you were getting engaged.
Well, how do you know? We never told anybody.
Oh, well, you know what Coronation Street is. It's that nosy. If it doesn't know something, it finds something out. When was the date?
April the 19th, my birthday. That's if it ever comes off.
Oh, I see. It's like that, is it?
Well, we had a date the other night and he never turned up.
That would be Friday, wouldn't it?
Well, how'd you know?
Oh, I'm psychic about men, didn't you know? They all have little habits in common, and Frozen Friday's one of them. I learned my lesson 20 years ago, standing under a street lamp in 2 foot of snow and howling blizzard.
I didn't wait that long.
Oh, men, they're all the same. Have you heard about my late... Well, perhaps not. Some other time. You know, your Joe might have a very good reason.
He might have a box full of reasons for all I know. But it's not only that, Elsie. He gets funny ideas.
Oh, don't they all?
Not that. I mean money. Do you know, he's just no idea what things cost. 1 minute he's talking about buying a house, and the next minute he goes and spends 40 quid on a car. Well, I ask you.
Well, that's all right if you've got it, isn't it?
We haven't, and we're not likely to have either. And then he had the cheek to ask me to start saving.
Oh, give over, you didn't.
He did, it's true as I'm sitting here.
And you're seriously thinking of marrying him?
Well, I know it might sound funny, but it's not as easy as all that.
Now, look, it'd be a lot easier now than it would be afterwards. You mark my words, love.
Well, I mean, I suppose he might change after we're married.
Now, you've said it. Those are the very words. Those words ought to be written up in neon lights outside every church, chapel and registry office in the country. Not that it'd stop anybody, mind you, but it couldn't say that they hadn't warned them. I'm going to tell you something now. I suppose I shouldn't, but under the circumstances, I think you ought to know. Your Joe went out with our Dennis on Friday. I know because I saw him in our house. I wouldn't have told you, but, well, you know. Seems to me, having set the date, he thought all he had to do was to wait for delivery. Now, if you're the sort of girl I think you are, you won't stand for that sort of thing.
Come on, your glass is empty, Mr. Tadlock. What's it going to be? Same again?
No, we'll leave it empty if you don't mind. One's just about as much as is good for me these days. Yeah, I'll be going off without mentioning what I've come for if I don't watch out.
Hello, what's all this about?
Well, you remember when I went into the night, I said we ought to do something for Ina Sharples? Well, this is it. It's a petition from the residents in Coronation Street to Mission Committee asking them to put her back again. And I brought it for you to sign.
Well, I'm not sure we can do that, Mr. Tatlock. You see, quite apart from this other business, we have a lot of trouble in here with Mrs. Sharples, don't we, Jack?
Sure, you can say that again.
Well, what about you, Jack?
No, I reckon I feel the same about this as Annie, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry to refuse you, Mr. Tatlock, but it wouldn't be honest now, would it? Feeling as we do.
Well, you put it like that, I suppose it wouldn't, but I must admit I'm a bit disappointed. It may surprise you to know that Elsie Tanner's signed this here document.
Elsie?
Aye, and I reckon she suffered more than most from the party in question.
Suppose she has.
Now, that does surprise me.
Here, what about Concepta?
Oh, I reckon we'd better let Concepta speak for herself on that day, Annie.
Concepta? Yes, well, you come here a minute, love.
Hey, I see a good few have signed it.
I brought that petition along for Mrs. Sharples.
Oh, I was hoping you would, since Flora Lindley told me about it. Where do you want me to sign?
Anywhere at the bottom, dear.
There you are. Now it's your turn, Mr. Walker.
Well, you see, love, as a matter of fact...
You don't mean to say you're not going to sign it?
no, you see, we've had a lot to put up with, and...
Oh, I know you have. But so is Mrs. Walker, and she's going to sign it.
Oh. Oh, well, if you think I ought to, Concepta.
Oh, I most certainly do.
Jack? There.
There now. Isn't that nice? You know, I'm sure Mrs. Sharples will be pleased when she knows what we've done for her. Happen she'll turn over a new leaf. Become a new woman, you might say.
I doubt it, Mr. Tuttle. I doubt it very much.
I have some good turns at that club of yours, you know.
Oh, they weren't what I call good. But I look at it different from you, see. It's professional-like, you know.
Oh, see, yeah.
Of course, it's not the same when you're in business. Either they've got it or they haven't, and you can tell straight off. Mind you, we're getting a bit more choosy at club now, though. Hey, what happened about that date you broke off with Christine Hardman? I bet she laid into you.
Oh, I haven't seen her since, but she didn't say now when she rang me up at work, you know. Still, she couldn't have felt that badly about it because, well, her uncle's coming round tomorrow to give me a look over.
Hey, you're standing for being looked over.
I'm not worried, you know. I met him once when he come round before. Hey, he had a smashing bit of stuff in the back of that car, you know, and I bet it wasn't his wife either.
Hey, what are you going to tell her then about t'other night?
Oh, I'll spin some good yarn, don't worry.
So you've come then?
Ah, of course I've come.
There's no of course about it. I waited for over an hour for you in the Rover's return the other night and you never turned up. So what have you got to say for yourself?
Well, if you give me a chance to explain when you were off the phone on
Well, I'm
Saturday...
giving you the chance now.
Well, you see, it was like this, you see.
And I don't want no cut and bull story either. I want the truth.
Well, if you give me a chance to finish, I'll tell you. Well, we were sent out of town on this job, you see, and none of us had the
Oh,
time.
I see. You can afford to buy a car, but you can't afford a watch. Is that it?
Will you let me finish what I was saying?
Well, go on.
Well, when we did find out what time it was 8 o'clock, you see. We were all that keen on getting the job finished that we hadn't noticed what time it was.
See?
Well, is that all you've got to say?
What do you expect me to say?
Well, by the time I got home, it was 9 o'clock, you see, and there didn't seem to be any point in coming round then.
No, and I don't suppose you've had the chance to come round since, have you?
Well, you rang me up and told me to come round today, and I've come.
Well, that's all right then, isn't it?
Well, can't you say something?
Well, what do you expect me to say? You say that you were tied up at work, so that's all there is to it.
I can't just leave it like this.
Now, look here, Joe Mettis, that'll be no place when I better let him in.
You're not going to let me leave me alone with him,
Well, I thought that was the idea, a talk between men, but I wouldn't know anything about that, would I? He won't bite you if that's what you're afraid of.
I don't know why he has to bother.
Come to that, I don't know why any of us have to bother. I better let him in before he knocks the door down. Oh, hello. Come on in.
Oh, thanks very much, sir.
This is Joe.
Oh, hello. Yeah, we've met before, haven't we?
Aye, that's right. You answered the door once when I come round.
Oh, that's right, and I sent you away, if I remember rightly.
Ah, you did, as a matter of fact.
Oh, well, since you're still here, it looks like you didn't take much notice, eh? Ah, well, how are you keeping, love?
All right, thanks.
Your Auntie Letty told me that she'd written to you.
Yes, she said that you'd be coming round.
Oh, well, that's all right then, eh?
Shall I make you a cup of tea?
No, I can't stop very long. As a matter of fact, I'm on my way to see a client right now.
Oh, but it won't take 5 minutes.
Oh. Yeah, well, I'm told you're in the plumbing trade.
Ah, that's right. I'm with Shorrockses.
Oh, what are they like?
Oh, they're all right. They do a good job. I wouldn't stop with them if they didn't, you know.
Hey, lad, don't try and impress me with that sort of nonsense. And if they pay you as much as you can get anywhere else, you'll stay with them. If they're the biggest rogues in creation, you know very well you will. No, what I like to see is a chap with guts and drive. That's what's wrong with this country today, young man. I've pulled myself up with my bootstraps, and I'm proud of it. You know, to hear some folks talk, you'd think making money was a crime. Well, I make 3,000 a year, I don't care who knows it.
3,000?
Aye, 3,000 a year, and I don't care who knows. No, I said that before, didn't I? How much do you earn?
Oh, I wouldn't like to say.
Ah, well, there you are, you see. But when you don't mind saying, then you realise that you're getting somewhere. Yeah, plumbing trade, eh? Oh, well, I suppose there's opportunities in the plumbing line, the same as there is in anything else. Mind you, selling's the thing today.
I wouldn't mind being on road myself, you know.
Aye, well, there's selling and selling. I mean, for a good salesman, the market is wide open. No limit. I mean, take these chaps in the factories. They can produce the finest product on the market, but if they can't sell it, they might just as well pack up.
Ah, but fair's fair. I mean, if you haven't got blokes not making out, you've naught to sell, have you?
Well, I think we might take that for granted. Here, have a cigar. You might as well do the thing properly.
Oh, thanks.
But it's personality that sells, man. I mean, you'll never get far if you haven't got any personality. I mean, personally, I've never had much trouble about that. I mean, folks say that I'm just made for the job. I mean, who am I to dispute it? I mean, some people have it and some haven't, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, how can you tell?
Well, I mean, with a chap who hasn't got it, it sticks out a mile. With a chap who has, well, it's a little more difficult. Plumbing trade, eh?
Aye.
I do a lot of my business with plumbers.
Go on.
Hey. Yeah. You better have one of my cards. If you can put any business my way, I'll see that you don't regret it.
Oh, thanks for... you didn't say what you made?
Fireplaces, lad. Fireplaces.
What kind of fireplaces?
Oh, any fireplace you care to mention. I mean, you name it, we've got it.
Oh, you must meet some very interesting people, though, mustn't you?
Yes, I suppose we do. You've got to be very careful, you know, going into other people's houses. Very careful indeed. I mean, you get into some very peculiar situations sometimes. I mean, I don't have to explain what I mean, do I?
I know what you mean.
Still, business is business, you know. That's the way I like to keep it.
Yeah.
Mind you, I'm not averse to a bit of distraction outside business hours, you know.
Oh, I do know. That was a smashing bit of stuff what you had in that car when you come round here before, wasn't it?
Oh, aye. Very nice girl, that. But yeah. You haven't mentioned anything to Christine, have you?
I haven't said a word.
No, well, they got very peculiar ideas, women. They don't understand, you know.
You can say that again.
You know, there was... well, there's the tea. Yes, well, I'll have mine hot, strong and sweet, love, if you don't mind.
Right.
Well, our little chat, eh, George?
His name's Joe Mackison.
Oh, Joe. Of course, that's right, Joe, yeah. I was thinking of your father. You know, he's got the look of your father.
I expect he has. Except that Dad was bald and 9 inches shorter for the same weight.
Oh, don't bother to pour me out a cup. I've been pushing off now.
All right, just you please.
I'll see you tomorrow, eh?
Yeah, all right.
Well, good night, then.
Oh, good night, George. Joe.
Well, I'll be off now.
Look, if we're meeting tomorrow, I better get it straight this time, because I don't want to be left waiting, you know.
All right, then. Well, listen, if you come down to the all right.
All right, then. All right, try, Joe.
Well, your Auntie Letty will be pleased that you've chosen a nice, steady chap. Well, I asked him a good few questions, and he gave me all the right answers. Man to man, as you might say.
See.
Well, I suppose you'll be fixing the date before long,
We have fixed it. April 19th, the birthday.
Yeah, well, I suppose I need hardly say that we hope you'll invite us.
Oh, not the wedding. I mean the engagement.
Oh, well, I suppose the wedding won't be very long behind.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, you'll have to settle it, you know. I mean, you can't rely very much on a man in a matter like that. I reckon you'll have to be thinking about it.
I have thought about it.
Well, it looks as though the old geezer will last a bit longer.
Of course it will last a bit longer, Grandma.
Look at him. I mean, the old geezer you've just inherited.
We'll have to ask the landlady to put us a new one.
Shut up the pair of you, I'll put the rent up.
Oh, thanks for coming and taking the day off, Ma. I don't know how we'd have managed without you.
I suppose you noticed where I put the broom through the back bedroom window?
We noticed, but we didn't like to say anything.
I'll fix it.
Are you sure you get on with what you're doing?
Yes, how are you doing, by the way?
You're doing marvellous, aren't you, Ivan?
It'll change to you there.
Mum, it's wonderful to be in our own house at last.
Yeah, I know. I felt just the same when I moved in with your father. By the way, if you should come asking to see his grandson, I hope you shut the door in his face. I mean, I object to my grandson mixing with some people.
Oh, it's going to be a boy now, is it?
Yes, Ivan and I have had words, haven't we, love?
Oh, I see that. Oh, Ivan, come on and fix
Yes,
that
sorry,
door.
we want to declare the place open.
Gosh me.
Come on. Look, you've missed a bit up there, come on. That's better. Oh, isn't that marvellous? It's going to look smashing, isn't it, Linda? Linda! Ivan, get a doctor, she's fainted.
Hey, now the heck's that?
It's all right, Mr. Walker, I'll go.
If they don't watch out, they'll knock the blooming door down. What time is it?
Linda has fainted. May I please phone the doctor?
Why, of course you can, lad. You know where the phone is.
I don't know what the street's coming to. First 2 removals and now this.
Hey, well, I hope it's nothing serious.
Well, it would be with her expecting the baby.
Oh, that's right. I'd forgotten all about the baby.
To me as though you two want a bit more rice pudding inside you. 2 grown men to move to a box like that. And if you can't move any quicker than that, George Abbott, you'd better pack it in.
Oh, it's all very well, is that, Mrs. Sharples, but it's very heavy. It's down. What the heck have you got inside it?
What's in that box is no concern of yours. All you're asked to do is to move it outside from inside and a little less talking to do. It don't pay you to gas, you know.
I reckon she's a body hid away in here.
Oh, well, there's only one that I can honestly say I'd like to murder around here, and I'm not likely to carry him away with me. Go on, get out of it.
Do you? Round a bit. Put it down. This box will not go through that door.
Well, perhaps you'll tell me how it come in through that door since you know so much about it.
Well, it didn't.
I'm telling you it did. I saw it with my own eyes.
The only way that box will go through that door is if you took that door off.
That's right.
You can't just go around taking doors off, Mrs. Sharples. What Mr. Swinley gonna say?
Let's find out, shall we? Then Swindley, you wanted.
Can't guarantee it lang, sir, if you put it back, you know.
I'll keep my own counsel on that if I be you, otherwise we'll start taking the roof off.
Suppose you wouldn't consider taking stuff out and putting it in somewhere else?
I would not.
What is it now, Mrs. Sharples?
We want this door off.
The door?
Whatever for?
To get me out.
I'm afraid I don't quite understand, Mrs. Sharple.
She means this here box, Mr. Swindley.
My name's Mrs. Sharple. She's the cat's mother and he knows very well what I mean.
Look, I'm not at all happy about this, Mrs. Sharple.
Don't care whether you're happy or not. It wouldn't bother me if the tears were streaming down your face, Leonard Swindley. Either that door comes down and I stop here until further notice. So you can sort that one out.
Oh, dear me. How very inconvenient. No, very well, take the door off. But I shall expect to see it put back in exactly the same position. Mrs. Sharples, you're not proposing to take that coal scuttle away, I trust?
This coal scuttle was given to me by the committee after a 3-year battle. If it stops, I stop. So you can take your choice.
Whatever you say, Mrs. Sharples. Whatever you say.
Right. I'll just take your pulse again now you've settled down a bit. You know, there's nothing in the world to get excited about.
Oh, well, she always was excitable, you know.
Oh, shut up, Ma'am.
Well, you are, aren't you? You know you are.
Well, he doesn't want to know that.
I do so. Everything you tell me helps my diagnosis, providing you tell me in time. The more you can help me, the more I can help you. It's as simple as that.
Will it be all right, Doctor?
Oh, yes, it's just overexcitement, nothing more. But you know, you'll have to stop it, Mrs. Cheveskis. You'll just have to stop it. We can't have you fainting all over the place in your condition.
The doctor is right.
What do you know about it, Ivan Cheveskis?
Maybe more than you think, Mrs. Cheveskis. Some doctors have an instinct about these things. I mean, some husbands.
Will you call again, Doctor?
For heaven's sake, stop fussing.
Well, now, supposing Mrs. Cheveskis calls on me tomorrow at the surgery and we'll have a thorough check-up, eh?
Doctor, I was
Thank you very
wondering,
much.
are there any good books you can recommend?
Good books, Mrs.
Oh,
Tan.
I know it sounds funny. Not for me, for her. I brought two up, I know, but that's some time ago.
22 years, to be exact.
All right.
22. I don't believe it.
You needn't rub it in anyway. No, I was just thinking, you know, if she could read them, all these up-to-date methods, if you could recommend them, you know. I mean, I brought me two up myself, but I've managed.
Well, there are one or two I could recommend. I'll write them down for you, eh?
Well, thank you very much, Doctor. You know, I think these clinics are marvellous things with all these injections and everything. My friend Dorothy Greenhouse was telling me about them. They take all the worry off you, man. I mean, it's enough to be having a baby without all the bibs and bobs, isn't
It's
it?
me that's having it.
All right, you needn't remind me.
Just so long as we know.
Oh, it makes you wonder why you have them, doesn't it, Doctor?
To you.
Right a bit. Right. Right.
Well, Mrs. Sharples?
You may well say well, Leonard Swindley.
Oh, no hard feelings, I hope, at this moment of parting.
You speak for yourself.
Oh, come now. We all have our trials and tribulations, most of them due to our own weaknesses. We must learn from them, Mrs. Sharples. We must learn from them.
I'd like to learn you a thing or two, Leonard Swindley.
I'm very sorry you're taking this attitude. Very sorry indeed.
You'll be sorrier still before I'm through with you, mark my words.
And what may I ask you to propose to do with that?
I propose to take it with me. It happens to be mine.
Steady. Steady now. What? Where shall we put her?
You'll be sorry to learn that I've broken my ankle on your steps. And there's a small crowd outside waiting for a demonstration of your Christian charity, so try throwing me out now. Look, if you can leave me again that wall, you can start putting my stuff back, because I don't think Mr. Swindley would want to let me leave in this condition.